We are looking at a visual representation of mapping chaos, taking hundreds of scattered geographic coordinates and organizing them into a single unified grid. Translating even a handful of these points by hand requires complex math and endless cross-referencing. When that dataset scales to hundreds or thousands of rows, manual point-by-point calculation completely breaks down. It becomes a total bottleneck for modern data management. EarthPoint's batch convert tool solves this directly. It reads your entire spreadsheet and runs all the mathematical conversions in bulk. By routing the data through this automated system, a data entry process that would typically take days drops to just a few seconds. Before we start, you need your raw data organized in a standard spreadsheet format, like an XLS file, a CSV file, or a TXT file. Look at this warning graphic, showing a massive stack of data being truncated down to a tiny sliver of just 5 rows. This illustrates exactly what happens if you try to process a large file without being signed in to an active EarthPoint account. The system restricts unregistered users to 5 rows per batch. Also, if your only goal is to map these coordinates visually onto Google Earth, you should use EarthPoint's Excel to Google Earth utility instead, which maps them directly without needing any conversion. Confirming your account status and selecting the right utility for your specific needs ensures your entire dataset processes without any unexpected interruptions. Step 1 is entirely about formatting the top row of your source spreadsheet. The conversion engine relies on exact naming conventions to understand your data. If column headers don't match EarthPoint-specific names, the system cannot process the file. This standard spreadsheet layout assigns specific names to top cells. For GPS coordinates, exactly name columns latitude and longitude. For UTM, replace headers with zone, easting, and northing. To output to state plane, add the header to state plane zone. Without it, conversion cannot proceed. Using the correct row 1 naming conventions ensures the engine can parse your data accurately. With the file prepped, move to section 2 of the interface, the Convert to targeting area. This interface represents the various mapping systems available for output. The tool supports formats ranging from military grid reference systems and township and range setups to what 3 words. For our demonstration, we will finalize our selection by locking on to UTM as our target format. Defining the target format ensures the output matches the exact coordinate system required for your project. This structural table tests placing a new column on the far left, matching section 3 settings. It moves to the far right, representing first, last, or after input coordinates options. Finally, the column locks into the middle for after input coordinates, allowing side-by-side comparison. Next, select your file and hit Convert. While the software handles the math in the background, this visual represents the data being transmitted and processed. Once the execution finishes, download the newly prompted file to your machine. While the server handles the actual math in seconds, your careful formatting is what allows the process to run without interruptions or errors. Open the newly downloaded spreadsheet to verify the results. First, notice that your original source data columns remain preserved and unaltered. This split-screen layout shows the result. Your source data remains intact, while the after side shows the newly generated columns containing the converted data, integrated right where you specified. With the conversion complete, you now have a translated dataset ready for integration into your GIS or surveying software.